What is up, everybody? I am excited about tonight. I haven't had a show this week. It's been really weird. I've been doing two shows a week, and I feel like I kind of been slacking a little bit because my Music Monday guest had something to come up. But this show will more than make up for it. Today, I have Chef Rodney Leinhart from Michigan. We just met like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, but we ended up just clicking right off the bat. We talked a lot on the podcast that we were on together with Joe Smith at In the Weed. Shout out to you. And, just overall cool dude. He has deliciously dope TV where this dude does two shows a day. It's crazy. And has strain reviews and is an amazing chef and loves cannabis. And combining the two is just his passion, I can tell. So you're gonna be in for a good show today. It's gonna be cannabis, psychedelics, conspiracies, all the shit you guys want to hear. So let's get into it. Make sure you share it with all your friends before we get started, and let's go.
Yeah. That Mac Miller vibe. Let's go. I wake up with the intent to make today my bitch, and I don't need it. You talking, so just shut your lips. Cause I'ma make it. Yeah, I'ma make it. I'ma make it. I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. Yeah, I hear the haters talking, but I don't ever listen. Keep 100 yards on distance. If you always steady bitching, don't need negativity around me. I've already risen past the bullshit animosity, and now I'm thinking different. Look, I don't know why you've been thinking broke, cause when you limit yourself, then you never know what your potential is or your room for growth. Use your brain, stop being a hoe. Sick of people acting so basic. Sick of brainless racist faces, always with the hatred. Guess it's never changing. What is this, the Matrix? This is why I'm blazing. This is how I face it, bitch. Wait, what? What am I doing? Created a movement, won't ruin what you are pursuing. But I wake up every morning, never yawning, cause I wake up with the intent to make today my bitch, and I don't need it. You talking, so just shut your lips. Cause I'ma make it. Yeah, I'ma make it. I'ma make it. I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. I wake up with the intent to make today my bitch, and I don't need it. You talking, so just shut your lips. I'ma make it. Yeah, I'ma make it. I'ma make it. I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. This shit is crazy, right?
This shit is crazy, right?
Dude, that's banging. That shit's banging, man. That intro, though. Oh, man. I appreciate that. You made me sound so much cooler than I actually am.
No, not even close. I didn't even do it justice, bro. Dude, I still can't believe I was on your show yesterday morning, and we both just completely almost forgot about this. Like, in the heat of the moment yesterday, we're like, I know that's coming up, and I remember I looked down at my phone when we were done with the show, and I saw 12:23, and I'm like, fuck, dude, how did I miss him? And I was like, wait, hold on, it's only the 22nd. Oh, I didn't miss him. It's tomorrow.
No, it's funny. It's funny because like we had the show and we were talking and stuff like that, and then after the show, my producer was like, "Hey, you do know that he's on the show? Like you're on his show tomorrow?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "I had no idea. I had no idea." And then today, like when I texted you, and I was like, "Hey, I'm 20 minutes from my house. Dude, I'm always moving." Like, oh man,
You have to be, dude. Like that's what entrepreneurs are.
You can't make moves standing still.
Facts. You have to just keep moving, never quit. All that like that shit that seems like it's super cliche is like really true, honestly.
100%, 100%. If y'all don't mind, man, I'm gonna roll up. I love rolling my own.
Fuck yeah. I know I just rolled up some early skunk here. Super fucking fire. First couple hits already. I'm loving this shit. It looked like it was like skunk #1 crossed with what was the other one? Early Pearl. So it's like a sativa mixed with a indica. I'm fucking pumped about this shit, bro. I was saying that before the show. Like that's like a perfect balance for me. I love my indicas and I love my sativas, but sometimes I get too up and too low, and I don't like that.
You want to find that good, and it's funny you should mention that because like that. So like when I cook food, it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of weed in this. It's not how I do that, and it's dosing, man. Because as a chef, I understand that like, yo, we've been putting these herbs into food all along for flavor, but there's terpenes, and that's the same thing. So depending on what you put into it, that's the experience. You have to plan for that. So let's just say this. let's say that I made a bunch of I made a casserole, okay, and I threw a bunch of basil in it, or I threw a bunch of oregano in it. Both of those have terpene profiles, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you've heard of eating mango or eating something with mango, and then if you smoke, you get higher, right? That's actually true. Okay,
100%.
it's myrcene. That's or mycrine. Sorry, mycrine. Myrcene, mycrine. Depends on what side of the nation you're on. People say it different. I've heard 4 different ways of saying that doing
Really?
my train reviews.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've ever heard it said differently than myrcene. Or
it's
I hear
mycrine,
myrcene too.
myrcene, myrcene. I've heard those 3. And then there was a Canadian person that I was talking to out of Vancouver, and she said it differently. And I was like, wait, is it because you're Canadian or because you're wrong? Like, what is it? I was joking. No, she's real sweet.
How have you been?
Yeah, a boot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But y'all got accents in Michigan too, but we'll get into
Yes,
that.
we do. Yes, we do. A lot of them sound like the farther north you go, the more Canadian it sounds.
That's hilarious.
I mean, that's what it is. So I have a cabin up in Grayling, and we go up there all the time. It's like 3 hours roughly, almost 3.5 hours from my house. And the people that we know in Grayling, it's like every time we hear them, their accent changes a little more Canadian each time. You know what I'm saying? I love them to death, but goddamn,
Yeah, get your damn accent straight, man.
You're confusing my ass. Make up my mind. That's all I'm saying.
That's
I love it up there, man. You have to go with this, man. It's fucking sweet. It's like you look out the back, like sliding glass door of my cottage, and my cabin, excuse me, and you'll see like the road that everybody lives on, there, because there's people around you. But then, like, if you literally just turn to your left, it's nothing but forest. And it's the type of forest, like, if you go walking back into, you're gonna walk into bears. Like it's happened more than once. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So, like, obviously take something with you, like a knife or some shit, loud horn. So, but no, it's that kind of forest where, like, you walk through and there's like a little clearing and you can look up and you're like, it's so sweet. And then you look around, you're like, which way did we come from? Because it all looks the same and it's all dark and black. And you're like, shit.
Yeah, I have never done like a nighttime hike yet. I've yet to do one because I'm like I'm not experienced enough in that. Like I want to do an overnight hike bad, but I have a hard time trusting people to bring me on one, and then I have a hard time just knowing I'll be okay.
It's all right, man. It's all right. It's cool. Like, if you're gonna do that, I would suggest like you rather feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? Which I got a story about tripping on acid and being in the forest. If you want to hear about it.
Fuck yeah.
So this was years ago. This was years ago, man. I was doing acid with a couple of friends in high school, and because it was that we were seniors in high school. Okay. We had to get all that experimenting, all that bullshit, because you don't want to get to college and be like, yo, I don't know what that is, or, or something like that. So we were having fun. And my buddy lives in his house backs up to a forest. And he's like, hey, let's just take the acid. We'll go for a walk. By the time we get home, it'll kick in. We can play video games. We never made it home at night. Real talk. We didn't. I remember like asking if it kicked in, because you don't know, man. Like, the first time you smoke weed, you're like, am I high now? Well, what about now? Well, what about now?
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Exactly. And so, like, well, you've never taken that journey, so you don't know, because it could say 60 miles or 60 minutes, and you're like, no, it don't feel like that, though, because driving back from where my daughter lives, it's supposed to take 45 minutes to get there. It don't feel like 45 minutes on the way back. It's science, physics, but... so we were in the woods and we kept hearing like the moment that I knew that it kicked in is when everything had like a slight echo to it. Like, wah, 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 like behind it. And I'm like, oh shit. And so it was interesting because it was like, no matter how fast because you try to shake, you try to be that person, and shake it off. You know what I'm saying? It don't work.
I'm going to shake away the high.
It makes it worse because then everything, you can't see shit. Yep. And so like, I remember walking down this trail using a flashlight because we for some dumbass reason decided to go at night. So that's why it made me think of it. And it was easy because he was like, just make sure you turn back to the left. Because if you turn back to the left, you'll end up you'll see the house. Okay, I know this. Then explain to me how the hell it took us all night to figure that out. We went the other way. And here's the thing: this kid grew up in these woods. He's supposed to know these. Nope. I remember we found each other eventually at the end of like what it seemed like forever, but at the same time it felt like nothing like that. And like I remember finding him after like I saw this like little group of like I don't know if they were fucking fairies, but they had wings and they were not happy. And I just figured out, I was like, yo, all right, cool. If I don't go, because every like step I took towards them, they like tensed up, you know what I mean? Like they were gonna fight or some shit. And I remember like taking a step back and they like kind of, they did too. So I was like, if I stay this far away from those assholes, I'm probably good. And so like it worked. I mean, they fucked off. It worked. But I remember finding my friends. We were able to start a fire. I don't remember how. So that's probably not good, but we did. And we sat there and here was the coolest thing. So coming down from it, I remember staring at the fire because it was warm and I knew that I just felt like I didn't want to move.
How long were you high for?
I don't know.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you. I can tell you this. So let's try and figure this out. Actually, I never really I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was overnight. So there's that. Now I think that like, cause I was like, we were in the woods. I remember we left the house. It was probably like maybe 10 o'clock when we left the house. And so like when we like found the house again, the sun had just started coming up. So I 5 hours, 6 hours, something, maybe like that. But a lot of that was like, I don't know. It was surreal. You know what I'm saying? Everything was like, so what's the word? It's, tactile. Everything was tactile. In addition to, it was like very lucid. You know what I mean? It was, I'm not saying go do acid, but if you've done acid, you know what I'm talking about.
I've yet to do it.
Have you done shrooms?
Yes. So I did it, I've fully done it once, and then I've microed a shit ton of times.
Microdosing, everybody should do. Hands down. There's medicinal benefits to it, psychological benefits. Everyone, and I'll say this time and time again, everyone should definitely microdose mushrooms. It's get rid of that depression.
Mm-hmm.
My trip on mushrooms. I want you to look at it this way. So the reason that people call it, this is where marijuana got the intro drug. Marijuana, if ingested enough, depending on the person, can have some psychedelic effects. Yep. Fact. More so when ingested via edibles. Mm-hmm. Hi, how you doing? Point is, yeah. So marijuana, if you can't handle that, you have no business going past it. Okay. Yep. Then it goes shrooms. Okay. If you can't handle shrooms, again, you have no business going past it. And then I would probably have to say, like, after that, I don't see. Here's the thing. I didn't really have a psychedelic effect with Molly, so I really wouldn't, and that was like that was a fad drug anyway. So it was like, that doesn't really count. But like LSD would probably be past mushrooms. And then you have acid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then as just the ugly cousin asshole to all of that, you have cocaine. So there's that. And then their trailer park cousin is fucking heroin. So there's that. So however you want to look at that.
Their trailer park cousin is.
I say that people from trailer parks are badass. I lived in the trailer park, so I'm kind of allowed to say it. I got out. You can too.
Facts.
Speaking of trailer park boys. You ever watch that shit?
No, dude. My homie Matt is obsessed with trailer park boys, and every time I see a trailer parks boy meme, I send it to him. I actually sent him one today. Let's see.
There you go.
I'm gonna fucking try to get it up on the screen. Let's see. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
They're hilarious. I'm sorry, they're hilarious. That and Letterkenny.
I need to watch it, honestly. I honestly just don't watch a lot of TV.
I do, because like I watch it on my phone, really. That is great. That is the oh my god.
And I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I was like super laughing at that. I thought that was hilarious.
What did you see?
Show me what
the orcs are moving north.
Damn.
I wouldn't be mad if they made more of those.
Wednesday night, people must still be out shopping or some shit, because usually Wednesday nights are popping in here with comments and shit. Let's see, are they nerfing me again?
I ain't know nobody. That's it. I'm new. People don't look at me. Look at my background. Look at what I'm wearing. I am wearing holiday jammies. Ain't nobody want to see that.
Yeah, people are like, wow, look at these two stoners talking about weed.
Yeah.
Come on. No, it's cool. Yeah, dude, my fucking first mushroom trip, going back to that, I ate 2 grams, which people
Okay.
say 2 grams isn't enough for a full takeoff. I will tell you you're full of shit because I ate 2 grams and I full took off. Now, my buddy who had them did say, dude, careful, this is your first time, I know that. I'm a
Mhm.
veteran, I've done it a bunch. These are the strongest mushrooms by far I've
Okay.
ever had. So, Milady only took 1 gram and had full takeoff. That's how strong they were. So, I took 2 grams. And the first thing I noticed is I was just like, you know what? It's been about a half hour. I want to go walk through the woods. Like we were in a group. We were in the woods behind somebody's house, so I like knew my way around them and I felt comfortable. And even if I got lost, there was a small enough woods to be able to find a street. So, I'm walking through the woods, then all of a sudden, the trees start vibrating bright neon green,
Yep.
like waves of just wow right at me. And I remember just like rubbing by them and just like rubbing every single one of them on the way, like, hey, wow, hey. And then I blacked out.
You ever taken
And
ecstasy?
nope, nope.
Okay. All right.
And when I came to, I was sitting Indian style, next to a tree, with my hand on it ever so slightly, and just moving my lips like eyes closed and everything. And I remember I couldn't be around the people I was with, but my girl was like near them, and I remember just being super worried about it. It
Okay.
was it was like the weirdest feeling ever. And soon after that, I look up, and my tall friend, he, um, his head like detached from his body and came off like a slinky, and he had like a clown face. He was like,
I love that.
and I was just like, I didn't know whether to laugh or be scared or what. And I just was like, what the fuck did I just watch? What did I just see in front of my eyes? And then, after a while, they realized that me and my girl were having a hard time, so we went to like the pad, which was like the party place where there's like a little
Right.
indoor, and I could not be inside for the life of me. I couldn't do it. I was just like, I need to be outside. I need to be outside. But then I'd be outside and be like, hey, is my girlfriend okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? You know what I mean? Like just super worried about it. Then I go
Yeah.
inside. I'm like, I can't be here. I can't be here. Our other friend brought her giant dog, and it barked, and like you said, it echoed our.
Like warbling. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and then its head, like again, it detached, and it was like a dragon face, and it like spit fire at me every time it barked. It was like the craziest shit ever, dude. And I remember we got home like 8 hours later. I was still feeling it, and I looked in the mirror after I went pee, and I just stared at myself for like 90 minutes, literally, just like observing and analyzing every crevice and detail of my face. And it was so
They say
weird.
self introspection is a thing for psychedelics, but 90 minutes in a mirror, that's a little obsessive.
It wasn't even obsessive. It was just like,
joking.
what the fuck? You have a
Yeah.
gray hair. Well, what? How
What?
did you get a gray hair? Are we old? We're
Which
getting
side of
old.
the mirror is the real life? Like, you know what I mean?
Right? I'm like, am I seeing things? Is this
Yeah.
even me? Is this what I really look like? Am I just seeing a fucked up version of myself?
God,
What is
I'm
go-
fuck ugly. Like,
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucking ugly. No way. No, don't be mean to yourself, dude. You're good looking. Look at you. No, you're fucking like just like judging myself.
that's, oh man. I remember like the first time I got high, I was at a friend's house and like we just stared at the shadows on the wall. And like it was weird because like they would get darker and then they would get lighter, and like, we all had these like inside jokes, and like we were doing puppets and shit. And then my friend pretended to be the devil, and my friend like other friend that was sitting on this other side of the couch like saw it and like freaked out and actually thought it was the devil. And so I'm like, wait a minute, like if this is what being high is about, maybe I don't want to do that around you jackasses because this isn't really that fun. But Yo, the first time I mushrooms, my friend's heads turned into worms. That was really weird.
What? Into worms?
Yeah, we did it with peanut butter. And it was like, my buddy's like, yo, I can get shrooms, bro. And I'm like, okay. So in the back of my head, I'm like, that's actually pretty badass and impressive. Then I'm thinking, hope he doesn't ask me to do them because I'm kind of scared of them. And so he's like, you ain't heard what I said. I can get shrooms, bro. You want some shroomies? I was like, yeah, man, I'll take some because I didn't know how you bought them. I was like, how do you fucking buy? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll take a thing of them. And so he comes back, a couple hours later. He's like, here you go, $50. I was like, fuck, shrooms are expensive. Like, and so I was like, all right, cool. What I didn't know was I got played. He's like, all right, dude, meet me in my house tomorrow. Just hang on to these. He's like, I'm like, we're at your house. Like, why am I leaving? You know what I mean? He's like, just meet me tomorrow because it was Thursday and then Friday the next day. And so like him and a couple other of our friends came, they came over. What I didn't know was I was paying for everybody to do shrooms.
Oh.
Yeah, it is fine. Then it was a big deal. You know what I mean? Because you're 18, 19 years old. You're like, what? No. So we did them with peanut butter because the one guy, Garrett, that was there, he's like, yo, I do shrooms all the time. I'm going to be you guys' Sherpa to make sure that nobody does anything stupid. Well, that's hard to do when you're also taking shrooms.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how many times you've done it because you don't, if you feel like you can't be responsible for somebody else, don't do that.
Yeah, and don't lie to people
Yeah.
like that. People lied to us and like, yeah, we'll be fine. We're veterans. We don't even feel it. And then they're like they would my girl was having a bad trip and one of our friends just sat next to her and like, so are you okay? I can't do this, and gets up and walks away. And he like was the one that assured us if something bad happens, we are good.
Yeah.
So once he was done, my girl really started having a bad trip because she was like, oh no, like Adam, I would rely on him, but he's gone. And the one person who said they were going to look after us, he's gone. He's been eating mushroom caps all day. He doesn't even know how much he ate, and these are strong as fuck. And so she's freaking out, and I'm freaking out, like, and I can't help her though because like she like threw up, and I went near her, and like her throw up like came to life near me, and I just had to like go away.
No. You abort that fucking situation.
I was just like, I'm sorry, I love you. And I'm sitting like 50 yards away from her, just like, Courtney, you okay?
I remember one time I was 22. For some reason, knowing ages helps me remember things, which is, I guess, good.
Same.
For a while after I stopped drinking, I couldn't remember shit. Like there was a lot of my past I couldn't remember, but as I've started meditating and using cannabis and stuff like that, a lot of it came back. And I was 22 years old, and I remember I thought I had the day off. I had the day off. This shit was on the schedule for 2 weeks. Okay, it was Monday off. Chef right off. No one. I'm having a day off. It was that day off.
Mm-hmm.
And, I popped some shrooms probably about noon with my roommate because we planned this, dog. It was the really some game. I don't remember which one it was. You know what? I lied. It was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yeah.
Great game. BT dubs.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Well, it was the one that had the first ever like multiplayer in it. Remember that?
Yep.
So, or maybe I was wrong, but it had multiplayer in it, I'm pretty sure. And like, that was the reason that we were like all meeting up. And so like, we're all meeting up at our crib, and we had 4 TVs hooked up, and we're like, yeah, fellas, let's do some shrooms. I was like, shit, seriously? I thought we were just going to smoke weed and drink, but all right. So, here it is, noon. I pop these shrooms. They just started kicking in. I'm like, yup. It was like 12:30. What's up, Hako?
Hako.
That's my boy right there.
Hako, I don't know if we've actually met in person, bro, but I don't know. We've been friends on Facebook for a while, but we need to meet up soon once this fucking shit's over.
I get a call at 1:00 saying, "Yo, chef, so fucking what was it? Morning cook didn't show up, so I've been here covering, slam, da 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 da, like, and then the evening sous chef called in." I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? No other choice but to actually go to work. So Very unresponsibly, I got in the car, jetted to work. Don't know how I made it. Don't even. I know I did it because who else drove my car? That's my
Right.
point. Like I'm the only one with the key. Like somehow that happened, and so I got to work. And as soon as I got to work, I literally did up my last chef coat button and was tightening my apron, and then the ticket printer just started just spewing tickets.
Oh man.
When I drove around the building, I remember driving around the building because I thought about it. I was like, I didn't see a lot of cars. Yeah, no, it filled up quick. It filled up quick, which in turn, actually, if you think about it, was my fault because the special we were running was selling really well. So it was like, damn. But it's
Damned
not
if you
fun
do, damned if
working
you
low
don't.
on shrooms. Mm-mm.
Dude, how did you get through a whole shift on shrooms? Like, I couldn't imagine that.
I'll tell you, muscle memory. Muscle memory. Seriously, like you just keep thinking to yourself because you see it play in front of you and you see fires like more bright and you can feel things and shit. And so like servers are just, little gremlins anyway. I'm joking. Servers are great. And so you see, and it's funny because there's like you create these like inside jokes like in like analogies as soon as like you interact with these people like within fractions of a second. So it was like holy fuck, man, because I've worked on coke, not gonna lie to you, I've worked drunk, I've worked high before. You're a chef, it don't really matter. We just whatever can you get into yourself, drive into yourself to get to the next day, and dude, I just remember like muscle memory. It's you've done this before. That's you just don't worry about it. You've done this before, which is really cool, and that's most likely part of the medicinal side of the shrooms. You know what I'm saying? They say that it helps you with depression. Well, if it's going to keep saying you can do this like the little engine that could, then yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Maybe don't go to work, but
I've definitely been in the fun, like, microdosing, but never full. And I've done heavier microdoses, like, zero point 0.8 a gram or whatever.
right.
But it's like, I love that when I'm, like, microdosing and in the dirt barefoot and shit. Although I don't know if I can keep
One with
doing
her.
that, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm barefoot, like, every day, and I got, like, a weird rash on my leg and shit, so it's because I'm, like, covered in dirt for, like, 10 hours, so it just allows any kind of weird fucking bacteria to be like, ooh, Cree, a home.
I just transplanted the girls today. I was telling you earlier. Yeah.
Yep.
That was we see I'm balling on a budget. This is our first grow. This is like our first real grow.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, no, because I've had people from high school that I still talk to like, bullshit. You grew weed in high school. Like, you're right, but it wasn't the same kind. It was that dirt weed right before grow and stuff. That was just, it was dried, cured fast, packed together, and it did the job. You know what I mean? It was dirt weed is what it was. So learning, and that was so long, dude. I'm old. I'm 30 years old. 33. So it's like it was years ago. So like this is like my first grow, and it's I asked my girlfriend because that's my high school sweetheart right there. I finally had the chance the last couple of years to actually say something and steal her away from all the other guys in the world, if you will. I always had a crush on her through high school. Always did. Never had the balls to say anything. Finally did, and well, look where I'm at now. I asked her, I go, did you ever think back in high school it'd be you and I growing weed in our house? She goes, no.
She's like, hell no. That's not
Hardest
what I
thing from
imagined.
my mind. I was like, oh, thanks, dick. You know what I mean?
My daughter wants to make a cameo, apparently.
What up? Hi.
Hi,
You got your jammies on? She can't hear me. You have headset on. Yeah.
She can hear you.
Look at my jammies. See, I got my dinosaurs.
You see his jammies?
Yeah. It's just like, no. And he ain't doing it for me.
She just got out the tubby. Huh.
Nice and so crisp and so clean, huh?
Oh, you love that though.
How old is she?
Should be 2 next month.
Yeah?
Kiss. Love you.
She don't look like you at all.
That's what everybody says. That's
Now,
literally what
let me ask
everybody
you
says.
How do you feel about cannabis talk around your kids?
Oh, I'm very free about it. So, there was a there was a point, we were talking earlier about like kids' moms
Yep.
and stuff stories, and there was a point that my son's mom and I didn't get along, and like weed was like a super taboo thing. but her fiance is very much pro cannabis and everything. So it's been cool that I've been able to educate him a little bit because he's been to my hemp fields before.
Mhm.
He knows what a weed plant looks like. If you're growing a weed plant, he'll tell you, "Oh, that's hemp." You can't tell him it's a tomato plant
Right.
because
Right.
he knows. I'm telling you, man, that green thumb shit is like hereditary. Because my dad was like that. I'm like that. He's like that. Like it's weird. He's that same way. There's like a plant outside. I don't even know what it is. I think it's some kind of like anise, and you can eat it, and it's like black licorice.
Mhm.
And he knows how to identify that too. So like he's already like on that wave. But like for my daughter, she's gonna get even more enveloped in it because it's like I don't really smoke around her, but like if we're outside by a fire lighting fireworks, I'll be out of smoke range smoking a
Right.
joint, like 'cause that's normal. It's
Yeah.
medicine, and I tell her that already when she's about to. She's not even 2, and I say, "Oh, don't touch, don't touch. That is medicine. Don't
Mhm.
touch." If I accidentally leave something low, I try to keep everything high because you
Right.
can't always control what's going on. But she's really good about it. Like she does not touch my stuff. She does not. She understands dada boo boo.
Yep.
Like
Perfect.
she understands. So
All she needs to know. That's all
yep,
she needs to know.
and it'll just be normal forever. And my son thinks weed is hemp, so he was like, like, Daddy, is it bad that my Eric dad, that's what he calls his stepdad, smokes hemp vape, because that's what they call it now,
Right.
because he's been around hemp.
Right.
And I was like, no, dude, like it's good for you, like it helps with everything, but it's for adults, buddy. It's medicine. It's not something that you do for fun
Right.
as a kid. It's something that's medicine. And he was just like, oh, so it's not bad for him. I was like, if he's vaping cigarette stuff, that's bad, but if he's
Yeah.
vaping hemp, that's not bad. Like,
So it's funny you should mention cigarettes. I got a kind of a stupid story for you, but it's really funny. So you remember Dare?
yep.
So I grew up in Tennessee. All right. Let me just start it that way. I went to Dare in Tennessee again. And then when I moved to Michigan, I had Dare again. I
Jesus.
had 3 years of Dare back to back. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
So they
And so
taught you all
like,
about it.
mhm. So like when I lived in Tennessee, they told you they told you cigarettes are bad and they're drugs, right? And I was like, all right, that so that my mom's a drug addict. That I said this in the class. Okay. I remember saying, but my mom's a drug addict. And everybody turned and looked at me and I was like, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, are you and so like the cop like makes his way, comes and grabs me and goes out in the hallway. He goes, what drug does your mom do? Like you got and then like 3 or 4 more cops and the teacher and the principal were there. And I'm like, my mom smokes cigarettes. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh.
Yup. Yup. And so like from that, they're like, well, we don't know now. And so like they somehow got a warrant to search my parents' house. CPS showed up. Dude, seriously. And here's the worst part: like where I lived in Tennessee, there ain't shit going on. So you know that like all these government funded agencies just jumped right in because there ain't shit going on. They can
Hmm.
charge more next year because they had to do something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what they found in my mom's house? Bud Light, Marble Lights, and dip. That's it. That's all they found. And they're like, these technically aren't drugs, but you shouldn't mess with them. I'm like, my mom's still a druggie because she does those. And you just could not convince me otherwise because the dare officer said it and had a gun, or something.
Yeah.
What I don't know. I wanted that t-shirt. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's funny how Dare didn't really do anything except make us aware of all these drugs.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Dare for me never did shit for me. A lot of I've had family members that have died from drug problems. Usually never overdoses, like long-term drug problems like kidney failure and liver failure. Um, and a lot of alcoholics in my family too. So liver problems are abundant. And it's something I noticed it at an early age because my uncle John died, and it never felt right with me. And he was on prescription pills, but he was still on pills, and he crashed on a motorcycle.
Ooh.
Like, so that was like my first experience with drugs and prescription drugs at that. So you know how I feel about big pharma. Like I've never been a
Yep.
fan since a young age. I was like, the fuck, like I was very, very hyper aware. And my dad also, you know, we grew up in Native American culture. We went to powwows. I was gifted a native name. I was drummed on a native drum, all that stuff. Like I had regalia and everything.
Nice.
So I learned natural healing more so.
Right.
You know, my dad when he was younger did a lot of drugs and everything. He'll say that, but you know, he turned into somebody that doesn't even like to take a Tylenol, you
Oh
know,
man.
once a year for a slight headache if he has to, you know, like he doesn't even like to do that. And I don't either. I'm the same way now. I mean, I took Tylenol and Excedrin every day for a very long time, and I'll
Mhm.
tell you that shit, I feel like it's just as addictive as like perks and shit because it's like the act of like, okay, pop, pain gone, pop, pain gone, pop, pain gone, and it's like the act of it, you
Mhm.
know.
You know, I look at it this way, like,
What up, Loren?
hello. I
Thank you.
stay safe. She's probably talking about the psychedelics.
Stay safe with
I
your
just immediately
psychedelics, you
went there.
crazy people.
She was like, you crazy bastards." I hope she doesn't sound like you don't sound like that. I'm sorry.
No.
Um, that
I
was
don't
just
even
how I.
know. What are your thoughts on psychedelics while Rodney's bringing up his next point, Loren?
Yeah. No, seriously, what are your thoughts? You have a little interesting story. I do want to hear this. Sorry, I had to fill the comments like that, but it's interesting because it's all I love the anthology behind people, drug use, psychedelics, cannabis, because there's a a science behind it. There really is sociology. Think about it,
Hmm.
and if you really study those things and you look at the psychology even behind all of it, dude, it's amazing how different yet very similar things are across the world, and so that's definitely like one of the things that. Nice. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen mushrooms help one of my closest friends. I've had also really good friends, really close friends, die from ODs from hardcore shit like heroin, like not even once.
Yep.
And
That's what keeps me away from it.
yep,
You know, it
yep,
wasn't dare. It was like, oh shit, I lost my uncle. I lost another uncle. I could see that my other uncle's car is filled with beer cans and nips every time he
hmm
comes. I can see, like, you know, even back then I thought weed was bad, even, you know,
yeah,
because I considered it to be the
yeah, no,
same
yeah,
because that's how you're trained. You know,
right,
that's why what we were talking about is very important with training our kids the right way about
hmm
cannabis, educating, not training, I should say. Um, so I saw that growing up and was like, I remember I got offered cocaine for the first time when I was 14.
oh
And I
shit,
did not do it because I was like, I was scared that, okay, maybe this is hereditary.
right,
And around that time, I was drinking a lot. And I didn't really realize, like, I didn't put that together in my head until I was like 15, 16, when I've been drinking a lot every day,
hmm
all the time. And I went to go pick up my little sister from the bus stop, walking. Like, I walked to her bus stop to pick her up every day. And I'm walking back, and she's like, Adam, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what? Nothing. And she's like, you're drunk again. I could smell it. And I'm like, what? Oh, like I didn't know you noticed that, you know, like type of thing. And it just was like, boonk. I remember stopping for like a couple years until I was like 18. You know, I didn't even have any drink, anything. I just stopped everything. Stopped smoking weed, stopped drinking, all that shit. You know, I just was like, oh shit, my sister realizes that I have a problem. Maybe that means something.
right. Yeah, no, my story with alcohol is very
Sheesh.
similar. I've been oh man, okay, see that's what I knew would happen. That's the story. I
I
messed up
did
at almost
too.
9:25. Yep,
You know, that's what happens. Doctors prescribe meds.
absolutely. I agree with all of that. Yeah. Like I haven't had alcohol in coming up on 6 years, man. You know what I mean? So it's like every day is a struggle for sure. Let me tell you this. So
Hey, thank you, Loren.
thank you. Absolutely.
Double
Devil's lettuce,
dose.
y'all. Um, my girlfriend, man, I make drinks for her all the time. She makes drinks in front of me. She'll drink them. It doesn't bother me anymore. When I first started, yeah, there was an issue. Like when I first, came clean, if you will, there was an issue. But one of the things that people don't talk about, man, which is what I'm glad I can bring this up with you because you'll get it. People say I'm a recovering alcoholic or I'm a recovering coke addict or I'm a recovering insert, drug here or something, bad habit, vice, if you will, here. No one says the psychological part of it, yo. No one says I'm a recovering narcissist. Because let's face it, please show me an alcoholic that is not a narcissist. They are a narcissist. They're going to lie to you to get whatever they want because they have an addiction that they're fighting. Show me a cocaine head that's not a narcissist. I'll show you Charlie Sheen. The point is, you know what I mean? No, I love Charlie Sheen. But
winning,
that's my point. People are manipulative and they will manipulate you and lie to you and do whatever they have to do to feed that need. That's really what it is. Dude, I lied, I cheated, I stealed, I did some terrible shit while I was an alcoholic, but at the same time, like, was it really me? No. You know what I mean? I was controlled by that. I didn't care. I got up to the point to where, like, I was on the black market selling enough weed and stuff like that, out of my restaurants to be able to afford, because, dude, chefs don't make a lot of money. We do it for the passion, but you got to have a side hustle, whether it's legal or not. You got to have a side hustle. And so my side hustle was slinging drugs out the back of the restaurant. I made a lot of money doing it. I'm not going to lie to you. And that afforded my alcoholism, which I got up to, I think, when I remember correctly, it's like a fifth, maybe a fifth and a half of Jameson a night just to go to sleep.
Jeez.
And luckily, and I don't know how I don't know, but my liver's fine. Yeah. So
you stopped young enough. Your liver, a lot of people don't know this. It's the only organ that actually regenerates on its own.
Correct. But you have to have 15% or more, or it won't do it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love Bill Nye. Like, I was like, that's where I learned that shit.
Oh, I don't really like Bill Nye. I know we grew up with him and shit, but he's not legit.
That's fine. That's fine.
I do like him as an
like,
entertaining, like, TV personality scientist.
Yep.
He was definitely part of my childhood, and I appreciate him for that part. He definitely taught me some things.
He led me to people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan and Stephen Hawking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Physicists and astrophysicists and all. So, I mean, thank you for that. But at the same time, like, I mean, he didn't really do any bad is the way I looked at it. But when I really fell in love with Bill Nye was later on in my years when my daughter was watching him on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, had I known when I was 7 that I was going to have a daughter watching Bill Nye, like, it would have been a completely different scenario, but this is cool,
I haven't watched this since I was a kid. I couldn't.
It's not the same.
No.
It is the same. It's exactly the same, but it's not the same.
Wait, is he still doing it current day?
No, they just did reruns.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't even know if it's on Netflix still or if it was on Hulu. It was one of those two. I remember it was one of those two. It could still be on there.
Loren said she stopped drinking a little while ago and her pain levels stopped as they used to be. So why that happens is because alcohol drains you of magnesium, and then you end up feeling super achy and sore all over. Beekman's World. Why does that sound familiar? That was Bill Nye. Why is
because Beekman actors of the studios, same studios that did Bill Nye the Science Guy. It was like a mouse or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the one dude was a mouse or something, or maybe it was before.
I don't know. My favorite show from back then was definitely Pinky and the Brain.
Baked now. Oh yeah. Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain for sure. There was a cartoon. You remember? And this is later on in like my teen years, but Jackie Chan Adventures.
No, I never watched that. I do remember it though.
Okay, so hear me out. Let me explain why I like Jackie Chan. I love Bruce Lee because Wacko Science. Yep, he had the rat sidekick. That's right. I knew it was a mouse or a rat or something. I love Jackie Chan because like he is actually a phenomenal martial artist. Like he's up there. You know what I'm saying? He's got a Pokemon named after him. So does Bruce Lee. That means something. You know what I mean? When Asian people name something after you, you're important.
Yeah, you're like a legend.
Actually, everybody does that. But the point is, they did. And so Jackie Chan Adventures was like the animated series of like Jackie Chan being like this like artifact finder. And there's a story behind it. But it was just as terrible as all of his other stupid movies like Rumble in the Bronx and shit. Remember that? That's my point. Like, they're terrible, terrible movies. The acting is not good. The stunts are amazing, but you get just shit beat out of you. We know because you show it after the film. Now, that's dedication, and that's art, and that's amazing, but it ain't good. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, but
I liked Jackie Chan growing up until I started. Well, I mean, I still do. He's really cool that he did his own stunts and everything. But when I watched Ong Bak, I
Yeah.
was in love with that movie. I used to watch it on fucking repeat and want to go kick people in the chest. It was
Come here, dude. No.
yeah, like let's go. Tony Jaa's the man, dude. Like that was
He
such a
is.
good movie.
He
Such a
is.
good movie.
You know who I
And
like that's a martial artist? Jet Li.
yeah. It was
He was
good.
just in Mulan.
Really?
Yeah, he was the Emperor in Mulan.
I haven't
That
seen the
blew
new
my mind
Mulan yet.
too.
I
Because I'm
gotta
like
watch that with my
watching,
daughter.
going, I know that face. Who is that? And so, like, that fantasy behind who is that? I didn't IMDb it yet. I didn't look it up. I could have. I wanted to, but I didn't. And so, like, I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. I was like, it's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. I was like, I can't. I couldn't figure it out. So I watched the whole movie. It's a good take. They're missing Mushu the dragon, so you suck, but it's a good take. And then I watched the credits and it said Jet Li. I was like, horse shit. He is not in this movie. So I went up. That's when I looked it up, and he was the Emperor. It was like he doesn't even Jet Li with long hair. That's what threw me off.
Oh.
He looks
So
like
it,
a younger version of Jackie Chan with long hair.
so the new Mulan is a live action movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Disney Plus.
Ah, see, I haven't.
Yeah.
I've debated getting Disney Plus. I just really have a hard time supporting Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do by watching the UFC, so
Right. So let me ask you this: do you like Star Wars movies?
I don't not like them.
That's fair.
I'm impartial to them. I could watch them. My son liked watching them when he was a little bit younger, and I could sit there and watch it with him, but it's not
Nice.
my cup of tea type of thing.
What about Marvel movies?
Yes.
They have every Marvel movie on there.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's
So
the biggest thing that because I've
right.
I've missed a lot of I could literally like spend the next 2 weeks watching nothing but Marvel movies, like back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and not be caught up because I've missed so
Did you
much.
watch the original X-Men
Yes.
animated series? That's on there. Gargoyles?
Oh yeah.
That's on there. Darkwing Duck? That's on there. So yeah, it might be smart for you to get Disney Plus because they're creating more Star Wars content, such as The Mandalorian, dude.
Oh fuck! If they own Fox, that means Always Sunny's on there, huh?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I didn't even get to, my fiance and I have not even got to finish watching that because fucking it came off of Netflix right while we were getting into it, and we're like,
Yep.
like we were like crackheads for like a month, just like I wish we could watch the rest.
You got to get if you get Hulu and you pay like I think it's like $14 a month with Hulu, it includes Disney Plus.
uh,
Not trying to sell it. I'm just trying to tell you.
I mean, Netflix has been kind of whack lately too.
Yes.
But I mean, actually, you know what?
They got Jurassic Park now, though.
Well, I get Netflix for free
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because T-Mobile was
T-Mobile,
running a
yeah,
promotion,
yeah.
yeah. So I got Netflix for free. So I don't.
There you go. I mean, if you can't beat free. You know what I'm saying? If
Trying to
somebody just so
justify my
happens,
spending.
huh?
Trying to justify my spending. That's what I was
Well, I
doing
was gonna say, if someone just so happens to accidentally email you my code to watch Disney Plus for free.
there. True.
Won't be mad about it. I mean, it's might as well.
Oh man, I'm freaking so pumped because my migraine is finally going away.
That's a good thing, dog. That's a good. See, that's just it, man. Because you were playing that video game. What were you playing?
I was playing Black Ops last night.
See, okay. I am absolutely garbage at first-person shooters. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Halo and campaign. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to like do a Twitch channel with me where we just like toke and just play through the campaigns. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Like
I haven't
that.
played Halo in so long.
Did you ever play Gears of War?
I've played it. Yeah, I beat it
Let's
with my
get down on some
brother.
Gears of War.
I gotta buy it. I gotta go get
No,
it.
it's free.
What?
Do you have the Ultimate Pass?
Nah.
Okay, well, you need that first and foremost. It's
I'm
worth it.
I'm super simple. I play like Apex. I was playing NBA 2K for a while, but I haven't played that in a long time because like Black Ops dropped and the new Zombies is fire, and then they dropped a new Warzone map, and I'm like, oh my god, and it sucks because well, first of all, my friends say I'm trash, but I have just as many wins as them, and I've been playing for way less time.
Right.
And I also they don't. There's a new map out, and they don't count wins on that. I've gotten 4 wins in my first week of playing it, and I'm
So
like,
it's
this is
Warzone. Wait, isn't Warzone that free Call of Duty?
yes,
All right, I'll download it. We'll go down on it. I'll
yeah.
tell you, it's fucking. I'm dirt.
It's super fun though. It is
Yeah,
super
I don't.
fun.
I love doing it. It's just if I feed the other team of kills, my bad.
Yeah. Apex is another fun one too, but Apex is like very, very fast paced. So if like Call of Duty is a very slow paced first person shooter comparatively.
Right.
Like when I
What
go
about
when I
Fortnite? Did you ever get down on that?
Fortnite's definitely fun. I have fun on it. It's not my preferred game, I
Yeah.
guess. Just because I don't have friends that play it really. Like all my friends are on Apex and COD, and they yell at me that I suck every time. It's just like, I'm like y'all are such tryhards, man. Like, come on. I was like, why is it that when I play with just randoms online, I get wins, and then when I play with you guys, I all of a sudden suck. Like that doesn't work that way. I'm not the reason we lose. They're like,
Here's the
that's
glitches.
because you're playing with ranked level playing, and I was like, well, on the new Call of Duty, I'm a higher level than you, so that doesn't make sense. It's so funny, dude. Like we all like just fucking shit on each other the whole time we're playing video games.
And that's what
Well,
it's about, man. That's how you build camaraderie, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, make fun of each other. If you can kind of take it, then like, guess what? Your best. Like, I have actual friends that I've met in Xbox Live, Xbox 360, Gears of War 1. I met these people in the lobbies playing PvP and shit, like against each other. Like, I've killed them, they've killed me. You get the idea.
yep.
Fast forward all the way now. I've watched them have 2 kids. I watched them go through a divorce. All kinds of you grow up with these people. They are actual friends,
Hmm.
which leads me to like, yo, why doesn't Deliciously Dope TV have a gaming show? So that's what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, we were talking about how to kind of set that up because
I have no idea how to do it.
yeah,
No idea.
first step is definitely computer. If you got a good one, then we
Yeah,
can set it up.
I got an Omen desktop. I mean, it runs Windows 10. It's good. It needs an upgraded graphics card, which I can totally do. You know what I mean? Come
Hmm.
after the first of the year. That's not the issue. So for some reason, Deliciously Dope TVs like their Twitch got deleted for fraudulent charges or something, but I can't make a Deliciously Dope TV. They'll flag it.
Damn.
So I think I'll just do a Chef Rodney 117, but put it on my network because I can have it streamed too. So I'll just do that because that's called a loophole.
I know. I really like wanted to like stream the UFC fights and pretend I'm playing video games, but that shit scares me so much. Like now that I know that Disney owns the UFC, I'm like I don't ever want to even like come close to illegally downloading that because I'm gonna fucking go to
Yep.
jail.
So exactly, they're trying to make it a felony now.
Yeah. I was seeing that they're trying to throw that into the COVID relief funding wording that they're making it a felony now to stream any pay-per-view material or anything like that, which is such
It's
bullshit, dude.
stupid.
Like y'all make so much money, you're not losing any money by this happening.
You're gaining money because then we're gonna go want to buy the T-shirts.
Yep. And the
You know
pay-per-views that we really like, that we're like,
exactly.
oh, we need to see this in high definition, and I don't want to miss out on it because sometimes I've never used those, but I've heard that they crash. Like so, it's it's stupid because like first of all, we're in a fucking pandemic, in a
Right.
shutdown, in an economic recession, and people are hurting for money, and you're gonna take away something that helps keep people's mind off the bullshit that is a lot of people's lives. Like a lot of people
Yep.
have no choice but to just be home, like they have no jobs right now. Like there's no job opportunities out there. It's a bad it's a rough place out there right now. Not bad, but
Yo,
rough.
do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
100%. Yo, aliens, come help us. Like, if you're gonna do something, now's a good time, dude.
I was wondering where that was leading to. I was like, are we getting into a new alien conversation?
We can. Here we go. Let's do it. Aliens. So
Aliens.
I think aliens walk among us. I believe aliens are on Earth because let's face it. I think the moon landing was real. I think the Area 51 is real. All of that. That's not conspiracy theory. That's, Yes or no? That's the way I look at it. Okay. There's a lot that we were misled growing up. Drugs are bad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Don't do this. God is great. Blah, 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 blah. Spoon fed all of these lies, really. You know, when at the end of the day, it's like just follow the money. You know, they tell you, oh, please stress about your bills. Oh, credit, 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 credit. Oh, oh, don't sell weed. Why? It's the only thing that's made me the most money in my life. It's the only thing consistent. It's not an American, it's metric. You know what I'm saying? Like, it works. I smoke it and I don't want to punch you in the face. So what is the issue here? And so you grow up with these blowhards that are like, weed's never going to be legal. Yo, dog, guess what? I am the host of Deliciously Dope TV. You can eat my whole dick. That's where I'm at with it. And so it's like, when these people start coming to you and going, hey, man, I know 20 years ago I was your dare officer, or hey, man, I know it was, you know, your teacher, but can you tell me more about this? And I'm like, oh, have the tables have turned. You know what I'm saying? I love it, but I don't rub it in their face. I use it as an icebreaker. I'm like, yo, remember when you said this? I'm just messing with you, man. And I roll off of it because it's funny.
How did we get there from aliens?
Oh, yeah. Those people are aliens. No, I think that because I'm high, that's what it is. Sorry.
True.
Aliens. I think that they do exist on Earth. I don't know what they look like. I think we might be almost right. Are they reptiles? I do not think that.
I think Antarctica is a heavy zone for alien activity. I think we have a relationship with outer worldly beings. And
100%.
I do think that the moon landing footage is fake. That's my belief.
Okay.
I don't know whether or not we've been
why?
to the moon.
I gotta play devil's advocate here for a second, but why? I gotta hear this.
It's all just the sketchy footage, you know, the Earth behind it where it's clearly filmed out of a window, but they're trying to make it look like Earth. The flag not moving, the shadow, the weird shadows when there's only one light source. The fact that, like, look at their suits, you know, like they were failing on tests the week before that, like they fixed it in a week, you know, like there's so much inconsistency there, and the fact that Kubrick was a huge part of it. Kubrick was a huge part of it. Like, okay, if we've done it, let's go do it again and live stream the whole thing. We should have the technology enough to be able to do that. We have a space station, we can feed off the space station, so we should be able to live stream up there. I think, you know, we've had rovers on the moon, but there is a part of me that thinks that human beings cannot get past that Van Allen belt. I
agree. You know, at the same time, like,
I want to believe we've been to the moon, though. I want to go to the fucking moon.
So we can send things to the, you know, the International Space Station. How do you explain? Is that all fake? Is like how, you know, that's a good question.
No. I mean, that's inside of the Van Allen belt from everything that I've seen. Like, that's still within our atmosphere. It's right on the edge of it. And that's what they say.
Which makes sense. Logically, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. See, I think that, like, it's interesting too. So to go off your theory, and I say this, so astronauts, when they come back to Earth, they're debriefed. Okay. They make so much money a year. Okay. They retire, they die on Earth. You get the idea. Okay, cool.
And they sign a lot of NDAs too. Let's
correct. That. Yo, that government, it be watching them. All right.
They're government workers, you know, so.
Like, I remember I was in Nashville, Tennessee. And I don't even remember the name of the astronaut. I know it wasn't like Neil Armstrong or something, but it was just a NASA astronaut, and it was just this guy. Okay. And he was an astronaut. He's like, I've been to space, you know, and shit like that. And he was from like the South or something like that. It was a big deal, you know, in the town that I grew up in. And I was like, I've never heard of this guy, you know, but I'm 8. What the fuck do I know? But anyways, like, you know, and so like, I remember it being a big deal. And I remember there being a lot of like, people that I now know to look like the FBI, a lot of Secret Service. So my question is this: you can be a mayor, you can be an ex-politician, you can live your life out in the public, and some people will know it. You could move to a different state and live your life comfortably, retire, you know, whatever. You're a president, people still follow you. Paparazzi still follow you, you know, stuff like that. But the Secret Service don't. You feel me? How come every time you have an ex, and this guy looked like he was 60, back, so he's probably gone now, but every time they come back, they always had Secret Service around them. That's a little sketch. And you don't see them in a lot of stuff. Dude, he's been to space. If that's true, he'd been all over shit. He'd be the person talking about, okay, that's cool, quantum physicist, let's talk to me because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like...
Yeah, like, and we have all these things like GoPros and stuff like that. Like we could, but at the same token, it's literally able in front of our eyes to fake things. Like you could fake. I think China did the what do they call it? Is that Project Blue Beam, where they literally like hologram imaged a whole floating city through the clouds and everything. Like and it looks so legit. They're able to do stuff like that. So like the stuff that the movies can do are even more advanced than that. So I will not believe something unless it's unedited, unfisheye film, everything, live stream to the moon, and then or take me there. I'll go there. Train me how to be an astronaut, and I'll go to the fucking moon. And I will come back, and you will have no more conspiracy theorists ever saying that we haven't been to the moon.
If you go to the moon, you gotta bring me back some space weed.
Hey, I'm gonna plant some seeds up there for sure, bro.
So let me ask you this: Do you think that terraforming? Okay, so there's a lot of people that talk about terraforming Mars and this elite colony moving out there and all of that. You've seen this. What do you think about that?
What if that's what the Big Bang was?
Shit.
What if the aliens have done this before and they've already terraformed this planet?
What if we're like ants to an alien race?
Yeah, I mean, we're like hundreds of planets that just like this one race rules over or some shit. Like it's so possible.
What do you think aliens look like?
I think you're right. I think they can shapeshift.
They could. I mean, you see all this sci-fi shit where like people are, they'll touch a certain thing in their armor or some shit, and they'll like turn into somebody else.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I think it was. Hitler back in the day, he was the one that like made some major discoveries down in like Antarctica and everything. Like he didn't do it himself, obviously. Like, right. He just his regime did it, and there was rumors that he like came in contact with aliens and everything in Antarctica and underground like cities and. There's some conspiracy theories that there's even like a portal in Antarctica. That's why there's no flights that fly over Antarctica or even near it. They fly completely and utterly around it.
Huh.
If you look at the flight paths of the world, that really is true. Like no flight path goes near Antarctica, and it would save so much time if you were going from the bottom of Chile to Canada. You just go whoop, but they go all the way up the coast and around.
That's crazy. If I had to logically look at it, I'd probably say magnetic poles, but
maybe there's something I don't.
It probably has a role to play. You know what I mean? It could be a pole when really the North Pole and the South Pole, if you will, are really just portals.
Maybe, but that would be some crazy shit. Like
I could see them like, the German like Hitler's party is like, hey Adolf, we're going to Antarctica. You want to go? He's like, Zig, hell no. You know what I mean? I could see that. And he's like, send the Fourth Reich. Screw it. They don't even exist. But you know what? Nobody gives a shit. The point is, dude, I would love to go to Antarctica for like a day.
Yeah.
I feel like I could survive a day and then get me home.
The weird thing about Antarctica is a lot of the stuff down there is all named like Rothschild this, Rockefeller this. Like it's all like the families that run the world that have
one of the 11 families.
Yep. It's like all of them that have stuff named for them down in Antarctica. And there's like military bases from like every country. Why? It's Antarctica.
Yeah.
It's Antarctica,
Yeah. When you see any kind of footage, there's nothing there.
Nothing. They make it look like desolate land. Why are we there? If it's desolate, we would have figured it all out dozens of years ago.
I'm just all about like saving the animals. Real talk. Like, I grew up really liking animals. I have a gecko in my grow room. Like that's, I have 2 puppies. I just love animals. At one point in time, I had like 13 tarantulas. That was fun. My mom never came over when that, you know what I mean? Like I had them all like in this wall and it looked really cool. It was like a zoo. I'll send you some pictures sometime, but nope, she would not come over.
I don't even know if I would. I'm not even afraid of spiders like that, but that's too. I don't like tarantulas, man.
So with tarantulas, it's a fear, is what it is.
Oh
They're
yeah.
actually very chill. You know what I'm saying?
Can they bite you?
Yes. Can you die from it? No.
What's it feel like?
It feels like a pinch with a bee sting. I got actually bit right up here, by a rose hair. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It hurt. Okay, nothing a little joint couldn't take care of really. But the worst thing that's absolute, and it hurt me, and that was it. And then the spiders does its little like, yeah. There's it was being defensive, and I probably shouldn't have bothered it anyways. But I was high and I deserved it. So, she let me know real quick. Luckily, she didn't have urticating hairs really, so it was like not as bad because they have what you really have to worry about is old world and new world. I believe with the new world tarantulas, they have what's called urticating hairs that they can turn around and flick at you. That's worse because it's like tufts of fiberglass going in your eyes and stuff like that it can blind you. People have had incidents where it's happened. Very uncommon though in domesticated tarantulas, obviously, but my rose hair did actually have those, but she didn't use them. She wasn't that aggressive. I just bothered her at the wrong time and she let me know. It felt like a bee sting. You definitely like your arm aches a little bit, but that's about it. That's really what happened to me. One of my friends, this is the worst I've ever heard. He got bit, took some ibuprofen, puked his guts out for 20 minutes straight, and then had to call into work the next day because he was like hung over, if you will. He just had an adverse reaction is really what it was. But it's a myth. Tarantula bites can't kill you.
I got bit by a black widow.
That's a different story.
But I actually, from getting bit by one, like it hurt like a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I
it's
have
necrotic venom.
I have this I don't know if it probably won't zoom in. Oh yeah, I did. So that tattoo right there
Right.
used to be a turntable, and it was bright red.
Huh.
And it bit me on it, and now it's just like kind of the disc is there. There's no table, and so my arm like blew up, like it was like huge, and the first thing I noticed is that I had a sore shoulder, like it was like a Charlie horse in my shoulder, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm at work just like, oh, I can't move my arm, guys. What the hell is going on? Like,
right.
What the fuck, man? Like it hurts. I must have slept on it wrong. And then it's like
This
2 hours.
Stroke? Yeah.
It's 2 hours later, and I'm like, man, I don't know. And I finally I'm like my forearm starts hurting, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I go outside to smoke a cigarette, and I get super hot because I was living in Arizona at the time. And I rolled up my sleeves, and I saw that my forearm was like jiggly. It was so swollen. And I was like, oh shit. And I went inside, and I didn't even know like at the time that that's what it was. I went inside, and my manager was like, oh, that looks like a spider bite. Like it does look like something bit you, either black widow or. He's like, it doesn't look like recluse because it would have like your skin would be rotting at a certain spot. I don't see the bite, so it looks like a black widow. And I'm like, dude, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? And they're all laughing at me. I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? You're laughing at me? I'm gonna die. They're like, dude, are you allergic to them? I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know if I'm allergic to spiders. I was like, I think I've been bit by them, but aren't they different? They're like, dude, unless you're old, allergic, or young, you're not really have to worry. And it's true. Like I looked it up, and but it fucking hurt for like 2 days, dude. Like all the way across. I was just,
I've seen firsthand, like I had a cook that worked for me, and he got bit by a brown recluse. And he goes, Chef, I'm in the hospital right now. I can't come into my shift. I got bit by a brown recluse 2 hours ago. He's like, I'm gonna die. He's like, that's how I feel right now. He's like, it's not good. And I go, okay, all right, well, I'll come up there after work. I'll check on you, stuff like that. Because you get, I believed him. I just wanted you got to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Trust but verify.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But really, I cared about him. He was a good dude. You know what I mean? He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Cooks are like family. And so I went up there, and sure as shit, man, he got bit on his arm, like right up here, and like they already were packing it full of gauze, and it was like boom, like, and so like keeping up to it. He had to like change the gauze and like pus it. It was disgusting, dude, and it just smelled terrible. So he was off work for a while. They're not, dude. Spider bites aren't anything to fuck. Snake bites either.
It's so crazy how something this small can like
Yep.
potentially kill you. You know,
Yep.
like recluses are huge spiders, but they're still small as fuck
Yep.
comparatively. And
Absolutely.
you got like, imagine like just having a couple of them bite you a couple times. You probably are dead.
Oh yeah, you're
Like a,
done.
like a,
I was out camping with some friends one time, and this dude not allergic to anything, and a bee stung him on the neck. His face went.
oh no.
He was allergic to bees. He's like, dude, I've never been stung. I've never had to worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't know. He's like, my face just started swelling up. He's like, I was dying. I was like, yeah, you were, which is why we called the ambulance. You know what I mean? Like, you went to like, you look like a tomato real quick.
You were quite literally dying.
So he goes nowhere without an EpiPen. You know what I mean? And it's, I mean, he don't really around, you know, his kids, we felt bad because he was a coder. So he didn't really leave his house. You know what I mean? And he worked from home, and we made him. We're like, no, you're taking the weekend off. You're going with us. Well, we were there an hour, and he got stung by a bee. So he didn't go with us too much after that.
Yeah, I don't think hiking
We
is
love
your
him, but
shtick.
no. Yeah, he's like, no. Wherever you go, something bad happens. Just stay at home. He's just Murphy's Law, man. You know what I mean? Now, here's like this like very scary thought that I've had for like the last week, and it all starts from something I watched that we were talking about, Disney Plus. They have like Nat Geo on there, right?
Yeah.
Crocodiles.
Crikey.
I love all reptiles and all animals. I love crocodiles. But imagine you're just chilling and like taking a bath in like the Nile River, and this 14-foot long big ass dinosaur just chomps you. What do? You're done. You're done. You die with a little dignity. You know what I'm saying? But let's say it ain't struck yet. It just kind of like floats up right here in the water, and it's just kind of checking you out. What do?
You poop your
Aside from
pants.
shitting yourself, you know, like it's.
I really don't know what the fuck I would even do, because at that point I'd be like, uh-oh.
There's no way I'm surviving this.
Yeah, like I'm not a strong swimmer, so I would never get in that situation anyways, because I don't really fuck with water like that.
Fair enough.
I love water,
they
but
can take down they've been known to take down hippos and vice versa. But
yeah, facts. I'm smaller, much smaller. You know what's funny is this was a revelation that I had this past summer. Is I kind of am afraid of the beach way more since I did mushrooms.
okay.
Like something about the energy of the ocean is so strong to me that I'm like, when I get in it, I'm like overwhelmed now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy, bro. Which
feel
yeah,
that.
it totally makes sense. It's like one of the most powerful. It probably is the most powerful energy on Earth. Like the water,
Mhm.
the ocean really literally chooses whether we all live or die.
It's conductive.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I'm a water sign. If that
Same.
plays any role to anything,
Pisces.
yeah, definitely. So it was just kind of like, yo, I kind of vibe the water. I like rivers more.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, no, I do like rivers though, and I've really liked rivers, especially after seeing, and this is really weird, but the movie Anaconda back in like '97.
That's hilarious.
I was like, Dad, can we go hunt those? And he's like, I mean, no, they're not that big. I'm like, bullshit, they're in a movie. He's like, that's not real. You're an idiot. Like, they were, you know, I think the longest one was like what, 30 feet or some shit.
Yeah, I mean they
It's
do.
still a big ass snake though.
Let's see. Let's look at the world's longest.
I think the
stick
biggest
anaconda.
snake in the world was the rock python. I think.
Let's see. Yep, 8.4 meters long, so about 30 feet.
30 feet, yeah.
With a girth of a girth of like 3 feet.
But yo, so you're like chilling on, you know, the beach, and like
Comes
you're in
swirling
Brazil or
down.
some shit, and this thing just comes up and like, no.
Nope.
That's sheer muscle though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, the problem is that fang too. Like if it bites you and just gets you down a little bit,
it pulls you. Yep. And then it's like,
if
I mean, it's
fast.
factual where like they constrict. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
that is the thing.
Oh yeah, and they'll fucking kill you.
Real quick. Real quick.
Yeah, my neighbors have pretty big snakes, and it's fucking scary because I'm like, what if they get out and eat my child?
So I actually had a boa constrictor latched onto my hand, like in the bottom part. I was holding it, and then for some reason it like reared up and just latched on my hand, and then started constricting my arm. And like it was only like maybe I think 5.5 feet, but it was a big ass snake. And so I'm like, guys, get tiny off me. You know what I mean? Snakes are tiny. They're like, all right, man, let me go get some shots. I was like, yo, no, I'm not. I'm gonna get elbows deep by the time you get back. No, get the snake off me. I'm freaking out a little bit because it's like, yo, I'm not enjoying this right now. You know what I mean? And so homeboy goes and gets vodka, and you pour that down in the shit, and the snake will let go. Pour as much vodka in that snake's face as you can and get it in its mouth and stuff like that. That snake will let go.
Interesting.
What
about
I'm
whiskey?
like, where did you learn that? He's like, dude, I watched it in like, some kind of channel growing up. I was like, I don't trust you, but it did work. Never been anybody. I almost died. I could have died. I could have died it.
I would fuck. You're making me panic a little bit just thinking about it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, you're all right.
I'm
man.
also
You're
thinking
all right.
about like if whiskey would work.
Yeah, no, any kind of alcohol except for beer. For some reason, beer doesn't work.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, yo, how many times has your snake bit you though? Like that's, you know what I mean?
Right.
How do you know this for a fact?
Yeah, he's like, I just had to figure out the one thing my snake fucking hates.
Right? Cheap vodka. No. I do have some questions though. Like, what did you say that you were smoking on earlier?
Some early skunk. Pretty fire.
Have you ever had conspiracy theory?
No. I definitely need to try that shit.
You do. It's fire, bro. It's absolute fire. You should definitely check it out. I'm trying to get some seeds to actually grow it in my next round. I'm full up now. I got some Blue Dream going. I've got Wedding Cake going. I really hope so. My Blue Dream is we can already tell was a female. All right. I'm really hoping my Wedding Cake is. We're almost there. So like, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I can't really see anything yet, but we'll see. I've got 3 Durban Poisons going because that's my favorite strain. It smells like Durban Poison in my house right now. I love it. And because I don't have a carbon filter yet because I'm balling on a budget, I smoke weed in my house anyways, so it don't matter, and then I've got 3 what we call Doc because my guy that I got them from is Doc. He's like, I don't know what these seeds are, but if they'll go, they'll go. And I know it's fire. I've had that strain. He just don't know what it is because he grew it outside. I should send it off and test it because you can do that. But those are growing really good. And then I've got this CBG. I got some CBG seeds. I don't know the lineage, but I can ask. And that's going like fire. So I'm excited because it's like, imagine all of the possibilities and things that I can do with all of these. Right now in Michigan, you can have 12 plants. I have 12 plants. So I'm happy with it. And that's my first grow ever. People tell me that I'm insane. They're like, dude, why would you start with 12 plants? Why would you go bigger? Why would you do that? And I agree with you, but you don't know my girlfriend. This woman doesn't have a green thumb. She has a green fucking hand. Okay. Her grandmother and her mother all grow stuff. Her grandmother has won awards for growing shit.
Oh, shit.
You see what I'm saying? And like they trade bulbs and flowers all the dude, a month ago, her mom was like, hey, you guys should come over. We're like, all right, cool. We'll go have dinner over there. What they didn't tell me was, oh yeah, we're going to make you dig up a tree so she can take it home. That was really fun. Really fun.
Surprise, manual labor.
I made her drive home and just scared her the whole time. I'm like, you knew this. She's like, I did not. I was like, doesn't matter. But no, she's very good at what she does. And we got Danny Danko's book, the How to Beginners for Cannabis, really. Great book. It breaks it down. It's straight to the point. We do understand that if you Google anything, there's going to show you complete opposites. You know what I'm saying? And then It's crazy. It's insane how deep this goes. We just want to grow good weed. That's it. So we're doing the basics, and like, we're going over, we're spending good, the money where it counts with like, nutrients and things like that. I think we're going to make our own teas here later. When we get there, we'll figure it out. We're not going to overwhelm ourselves with, okay, what about, this pH versus this pH? And then if you do this acidic, that's great. And that is all part of it. Don't get me wrong. But I want to see if we can fuck this up. I want to see if we can, if we can do it right. I want to see. That's just it. You don't know unless you do it. Not to mention, I want to just do it. That's my point. I want to grow my own. That way, when I go out and buy, when I roll my own as I'm doing now, I know what's in it. You know what I'm saying? Too many times, if I got a joint from somebody, it's like, it is not. How come I can smoke my stuff and get where I want to get, and I smoke yours and it tastes like a cigarette? You know what I mean? Like, it's just dirt and nasty. And people are like, yo, smoking hemp though, it's still, you're getting cannabinoids. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't do anything for my ensemble. You know what I mean? What's the CBD level? Oh, it's just hemp. So why did I pay you $20 for it? You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to grow my own and be self-sufficient, man. I mean, worst case, if Deliciously Dope TV doesn't work, at least I, fall back on my grow.
Yep, exactly. You got that to go. Because having that growing skill is definitely important because,
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
look at the fucking industry.
Oh,
I just
huge.
realized what time it was. I got to do a giveaway at 9:30, so we gotta wrap up this show because I gotta do a couple things to finish
Let's
prepping
do it.
for that. But I definitely want to have you on again soon.
Oh,
So
for
as soon
sure,
as I'm
dude.
done with
Thanks for
the,
having me, man.
yeah. So before we go, I want to have you tell people where they can find you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just check out, Instagram, hashtag, or, is what, @ or whatever, Deliciously Dope TV. That's mine. You'll see a bunch of other ones. Those are people that work, alongside me, with me, if you will. Awesome team. Awesome team. Everybody does amazing. That's Instagram. On Facebook, man, it's everywhere. Deliciously Dope TV. You'll find us there. TheDeliciouslyDope.com. If the site works, Lord knows. I don't know. That's my fault. We'll get that fixed real quick. But no, on Cannabis, you can check us out at Deliciously Dope TV
I need to check
and
that out.
Twitter, like everywhere. If you just Google Deliciously Dope TV, we gonna pop up.
Hell yeah, great name then.
Thank you.
Fucking if the branding is already popping like that. But yeah, if you're watching the show, and you're watching it live, the couple people that are, I'll be going live again in like 5 minutes here to do the giveaway for today. So if you have not entered yet, go to urbanextracts.co and you can enter still. I'm not gonna do the drawing till probably 9:45, but I'm gonna get on the live here in about 5 minutes or so. Make sure you check out Rodney's show too. Like I said, this man is going live 4 times a week. 2 of those days are like twice in one day. It's insane
I
to
go
me.
live every Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday at 4:20 doing the puff and pass, doing just a basic review on like everything from
Oh
papers to
shit.
bongs. Exactly. Whatever people really want me to review and try. And then every Tuesday and Thursday at 10:17 a.m. I go live with Eric Eating from Others Infusion doing the Deliciously Dope Daily Chronicles.
Hustling. Are you
Crazy.
taking that and clipping it into smaller bits?
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, we'll see.
It's super important. It helps. When I did it, it's a lot of fucking work. But when
Right.
I did it, it built our podcast up so much. But
I was just doing it directly and putting it on Spotify for a while, and then
yep.
there's so I'm doing some branding stuff, and so like I have to pull back from certain sites that have certain rules,
Hmm.
and then once my branding stuff goes through and we're good and everything is fine, and I own my shit, then I'm gonna do that again. But that's coming soon, 2021.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you all for watching, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Good vibes to you. Peace.